Hello and welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to the Big Mouth Daily. This is the first time I've ever done a live stream. And it's really early in the morning around the world and it's late at night where most places where my subscribers watch this video. So I'm just out, right? I'm just looking down at the bottom how I end the stream and stuff because this is literally my first time. Right now, is someone watching this right now? I don't even know because this is my first time. I've decided randomly to do today's Big Mouth Daily live. I didn't even give it a big title. I just called it the Big Mouth Daily. I should have put something else down, but never mind. Right. We have heard from Grace Randolph that the Snyderverse is dead at Warner Brothers Pictures. So before I read you out her quote, I am going to give you one of my famous analogies, and here it is. Imagine, right, there's a new fizzy drinks company, right, and they want to rival Coca-Cola. Yes, Coca-Cola. They want to rival Coca-Cola. Hello, everyone. Anyone joining my first live chat? First time I've ever done this. Bit nervous, but we're doing the Big Mouth Daily live. So let's start again. I'm going to give you an analogy. Imagine, right, someone wants to rival Coca-Cola, right? So they say, let's create our own fizzy drink to break Coca-Cola. Our drink's going to be better than theirs. So, right, we get this person who really doesn't know fizzy drinks that well. And he goes, although he has made a couple of good fizzy drinks, right? But, you know, he's not really passionate about making fizzy drinks. So he brings this guy who has made some drinks before, but they've got this sour aftertaste. He's not really for everyone. Anyway, he puts the recipe in. He decides to put curry in this new fizzy drink that's meant to rival Coca-Cola, right? So people start drinking it, and some people say, wow, this is an amazing fizzy drink. And some people go, this is a disgusting fizzy drink. I don't want this fizzy drink, right? That's my analogy for the inception of the DCEU, for Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder. It's what it is. It's my kind of analogy of saying that they wanted to rival Marvel Studios, right? That's been doing well and most people loved them, but instead they went this way. So how can you rival Marvel Studios when you don't do common sense stuff? You don't do common sense shit, right? You bring in Christopher Nolan, and Chris Nolan says, well, you know what, guys? I've done 3 DC movies for you. I got lucky with the middle one because our lead actor died, so that brought the hype engine up a bit. But I don't want to do any more. I want to do these arty-farty movies, right? I'll bring in Zack Snyder. You know that guy who did Watchmen, right? Where some people loved it and some people didn't love it. I'm sure you'll be fine. Bye. I'm gonna go now, right? You and Zach will be fine. It's like when you go on a first date and you get a third intermediary introducing you, and you're like sitting there and you're going, who's gonna talk first? And utter shambles. I love Zack Snyder. I love his 3 DC movies, as I have to say every single day. But it's bringing him in was never good business, was it? I will treasure his 3 movies forever. By the way, there's one person watching, I think. Put a comment down or something. I won't bite, even if you don't agree with me. First time doing live. So I'm a virgin. I'm a live virgin. It's okay. I'm so nervous. Anyway, and so we're going to do the Big Mouth Daily like we normally do the Big Mouth Daily. So let's read Grace Randolph's quote. Well, here's the thing. Should we do the Grace Randolph accent? Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of drama behind the scenes of the Snyder Cut, as you know, and so the very higher-ups, and I'm talking like upper echelon of the people in charge of Warner Brothers, they are just not going to greenlight any more of that stuff. They are just not going to do it. I think it became personal for them. Well. Warner Brothers are not going to greenlight any more Snyderverse. Is there any fan? Is there any geek nerd out there who thought that they were? We've been fighting. We had 1.5 million tweets. We had over 40, what was it? I don't know. Was it 400K the other day? Wherever it was. There's people who want this. Blue tick celebrities. There's lots of people who want this, but it's a poisoned chalice, everyone. And Zack Snyder and a big studio are just never going to work together. It's okay, Zack working on Netflix. And hey, Zack, you know that Army of the Dead Toby sold us? Well, why don't you do it? You mean I can do whatever I want? Of course you can. It's Netflix. Netflix don't care. They don't give people notes. It's irrelevant to them. They've got subscribers. If your thing don't work out, you don't get a franchise. But already he's got the franchise. If you're a Snyder acolyte, let's say, a diehard one, because I appreciate the guy, but I'm not a diehard like some of you people out there. But if you are, just subscribe to Netflix. Enjoy the Army of the Dead franchise. If you're not actually a DC fan, why do you care? I'm a DC fan. I should be more devastated about this than you. But I said to you, look, I said to you guys ages ago, didn't I? I said that the studio were using the Snyder Cut and its popularity to launch HBO Max. It was obvious. And you were saying, no, you know, Jason Kilar's our friend. No, he's an executive. He's like a politician. You can't trust him. He was kissing our butts saying he loves our passion, blah, blah. Of course he does. He wants us to subscribe to HBO Max, right? That's the truth. Do you know what? Changing the subject. Now I know I can go live. I can go live whenever I want, which is pretty awesome. So I might do this throughout the day just for a laugh. Anyway, so we can never trust Jason Kilar. We can never trust this studio. To be fair, they never told us they were going to restore the Snyderverse. Did they now? There was a few tweets saying, hey, we'll have to wait and see. Listen, I'm going to go back on something now. I said this was never going to happen. But you know what? I get a suspicion that I might be wrong there. And I've mentioned this before. Do you remember when Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut was going to be a TV series? Yeah. And then months and months later, it became a movie. From the moment it became a movie, they had no intention in restoring the Snyderverse. But when they made it a series, I think they saw the trends for it and they thought, yeah, on HBO Max, as a series, a separate entity to the rest of the DCEU, this could work. So what went wrong, everyone? I'll tell you what went wrong. It was Ray Fisher. He wound them up. He was exposing them on a daily basis. This is not how these things work. I know this industry, right? I may be a failed YouTuber, but I know this industry. I understand it. And you don't have to be a rocket science to understand the industry, right? What happens on set, happens on set. Well, deal with it. What Ray Fisher did. Now, I don't think he did a bad thing pushing for the investigation. That was a good thing. But he went beyond that. And should I tell you when it became personal for Warner Brothers Pictures? When he rang out Walter Hamada out to dry. This is what triggered me. Because, as I've told most of you before, as soon as I knew Hamada was going to run the DCEU, I checked him out. He's got a great history. He's a very good producer. And the people I asked said he's a pretty good guy. And these people are on the level. They don't make shit up. Right? So I was very excited with his achievements at New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema is a great little company. And, you know, he produces stuff on budgets. He's created a successful horror franchise. So he's not the clown that some Snyder acolytes claim he is. I'm sorry if you're a Snyder acolyte. I love you. High five, by the way, because I love Zack. You know that. You know me. But I'm just a balanced DC Snyderverse fan. I'm balanced. I'm not totally biased. I can see both ways. And I feel bad sometimes for the diehard DC fans and they get shouted out. And they want their movies as well, right? They've been reading comics all their lives. They want to see the Shazam movie. They want to see the way Aquaman was done. They want that too. They're excited about this Supergirl in Flashpoint. I'm excited for Flashpoint. I mean, if they get that movie right, just imagine Keaton training a Batgirl. Imagine that. A Batman Beyond kind of gender swap. Who cares, right? I mean, this is Hollywood. This is 2021. This is what they do now. There's no point screaming and saying, oh my God, this is the way it's going to happen. So there is an exciting future if they can do this properly, right? Now, I've been feeling the Snyderverse was dead for a while. And once they announced it was going to become a movie, I kind of thought to myself, yeah, when it was a series, they wanted to restore the Snyderverse. When it was announced by Zack it was going to be a movie, I think that's when they kind of said no. And Zack was doing it as well, exposing things about, was it Wayne T. Carr and other things? You know, imagine being a company and you're being exposed left, right, and center, right? We could have had it all. We could have had it all if everyone used their brains. We could have had the central universe and the multiverse strategy and implemented the Snyderverse with it. That could have been a thing. But let me tell you the problem with the Snyderverse, and it's not in the films or the inception of the DCEU. Nobody wanted to compromise. And life's about compromise, everyone. And I know to a lot of you people, it's no compromise, no compromise. This isn't a war, right? They own the IP. You've got to sit round the table and be like sensible human beings. But Zack Snyder doesn't want to do that, everyone. He wants to do what he wants to do. And when they tell him, no, don't film any extra bits, and he's showing off to the fans, guess what I did? I shot some extra bits. You know, how are you, as an overlord, as a studio, as a superior, going to feel about that? I speak facts. I don't, as I've told you before, I can be biased, but around these kind of things, I'm not biased because I see the big picture. I understand what went wrong here. And if Zack and Ray Fisher played this properly, we could have restored the Snyderverse, right? So this is everybody's and nobody's fault why we've ended up this way, why we can't restore the Snyderverse as much as we try. I'm not telling you to stop hashtagging, by the way. And then we move to my next point on this. So there's a bunch of Snyder fans who wants to cancel HBO Max on May the 1st. Now, I actually think if you subscribe to HBO Max, by the way, you should do whatever you want, but if you subscribe to HBO Max for the Snyder Cut and you believe this would help restore the Snyderverse, you should definitely go with your gut and unsubscribe. I think the plan is to unsubscribe and resubscribe or something like that, or some people are going to unsubscribe for good. And, you know, as I say, do what you want to do. I'm not in America. I don't have access to HBO Max. I didn't actually see the Snyder Cut via HBO Max. I wasn't allowed, and I didn't have access to the multi-channels out here. So I watched it another way. And then you get people saying, you betrayed Zack by doing that. So I'm going to sit here not watching a film I've been waiting and fighting for because you're accusing me of betraying a millionaire director. Sorry. You know, I do what I want. That's the way it works. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the DCEU, am I allowed to swear on these lives, was a cluster, F-U-C-K, from its inception because they didn't put the right person in charge. They had Bruce Timm there, a passionate fan, someone who created an amazing animated universe. Amazing. The successes of that universe are brilliant. He did what Fade did with live action, basically. Very successful. Even the middling movies that are not the best still make them money, and it's amazing. It's a great universe. They have Elseworlds versions. It's amazing. That guy would have given everybody what they wanted. Because don't forget, at that point, you wouldn't have even known Snyder was involved or did Man of Steel. And then we go through this kind of imaginary thing of Zack's arc. And I've mentioned this before as well. Zack's arc. Well, the first film was David Goya's story, right? What did Zack have to do with Man of Steel in terms of, I'm not talking about directing it, but in terms of the narrative? It was David Goya's and Christopher Nolan's story. Then David Goya was booted off of there. What happened? Because they blamed David for Man of Steel not making over $1 billion. And let's be fair, a Superman movie's never made over $1 billion, but I think it's Superman the movie, if you take what it earned then, because obviously monies are different now, it would have earned over $1 billion. No question about that. So there hasn't been a big box office successful Superman movie that's had rave reviews and big box office. And that's not Superman's fault. People say that's Superman's fault. That is not Superman's fault. I love this symbol and I love Superman because of what he stands for. And he's been there for me, even though he's not a real character, every day of my life. When I felt down, when I felt like ending it all, when I've done something bad, and I look at this shield and I think, Clark would never do this. So you have got to put what you did right. That's what it's about, everyone. But everyone's just obsessed with how everyone identifies as and not what's in here anymore. I think that's the problem. So the Snyderverse was never going to work out, was it? Let's be honest. So now they have a new plan. I don't know if it's going to be successful. Excuse me. It's weird with lives. You can't pause. You have to go on, even if your throat's killing you. But the thing is, right, I don't know if the multiverse strategy is going to work. I have no idea. I know Christina Hodgson has wrote the Flash movie, which worries me at no end. It looks like I've driven everyone away now. Never mind. Maybe a few more will drag in later. Anyway, right. Oh, we got someone back now. Hello, whoever you are. I drove the rest of the audience away. First live, by the way, so hello. Anyway, so I don't know if the Flash movie is going to be successful, if the multiverse strategy is going to be successful. Some people will want it to be. Some people won't want it to be. Obviously, if you're deeper, if you're a really passionate Zack Snyder fan, you're not going to want it to be successful. I love Zack, but I'm a DC fan, and I want it to be successful. And so this was never going to work out. The Snyderverse is dead at Warner Brothers, but we got three epic, awesome movies. I will always hold them in my heart, but now it's time to watch them whenever I want. But for me to always talk about it in the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, to show support to Zack's DC movies. But now it's time to focus on the future. So what are we talking about next? Well, as I say, I can't pause this while I look down what I want to talk about. Well, I want to talk about Michael B. Jordan maybe playing Superman. And so let's have a look at this. Where are we? Here we are. So this is an article from Screen Rant. You know what I love about Screen Rant? No pop-ups. Anyway, Michael B. Jordan responds to rumors he'll play Superman. Michael B. Jordan addresses whether or not he'll be franchise hopping and joining the DC movies to play Kal-El in the upcoming Superman reboot by Grant Gutman of Screen. Michael B. Jordan addresses the rumors that he'll be playing Superman, if he'll be playing Superman, in the upcoming DC movie reboot. Henry Cavill originated the current iteration of Kal-El in the DCEU when he debuted in 2013's Man of Steel. Cavill has reprised the role in a few films, including Batman v Superman and Justice League. Questions about his future in the role lingered as Warner Brothers failed to announce a follow-up solo feature for Cavill. With the studio looking to the future and their upcoming slate, it seems as if Cavill's time as Kal-El is coming to an end. We don't know about that. We don't know what the plan is. It was reported in February that J.J. Abrams is rebooting Superman for Warner Bros. with prolific writer Ta-Nehisi Coates penning the script. The report indicated that casting had not yet been done for the film, hinting that a new actor could be coming on board to don the cape. Speculation began immediately about which major star could be taking on the role, and Jordan's name has been at the top of the list of contenders for quite some time. Now, Jordan has responded to these rumors that he could be taking on the role. Speaking to Jake's Takes, Jordan played coy when asked if he could be playing Superman. The actor says he's flattered that his name would even be in consideration for the role, but he doesn't know anything beyond the rumors themselves. You hear the whispers and the rumors and the stuff like that, and it's just a compliment. You know, I appreciate people that think about me in that type of way for these roles. I don't really have anything more to give on that other than it's just flattering, and I appreciate it. But you know, whoever they get, or if it goes that way, I think it will be an interesting thing to see. Oh, absolutely, my friend. Similarly, when talking to Cinepop, Jordan reiterated he's not aware of what is happening with the reboot, but he's excited to see a black Superman on the screen, on the big screen. I don't know. I don't really know what is going on with that in particular, but I think everybody wants and desire to see black leads in heroic roles. I think I think is really, really important. Representation is important. Jordan could merely be playing coy. I think he is. A role like Superman requires actors to keep their cards close to the chest, lest they spoil a major surprise like this. With Jordan already having one superhero tempo under his belt after playing Eric Killmonger in Black Panther, it's unclear if the actor would want to attach himself to another major franchise. Still, Superman could be a major role for the actor, and seeing as the DCEU is moving on from director Zack Snyder's vision for the franchise, it would make sense to cast a well-known actor in a new role that Cavill could be out as Superman. Look, I don't know if he's going to play Kal-El. If it's a black actor, I expect it to be one of the two versions of a Superman of color, which will be very, very exciting. So I don't expect any black actor who's going to be cast for this role to be replacing Henry. In fact, I've got a little theory what's going to happen here. After this article, I'll go into it. Wherever the future of Superman is heading, though, it's clearly in good hands. Coates has worked on Black Panther comics, and Abrams is well versed in franchise filmmaking. With a star like Jordan at the forefront of the reboot, the new Superman could take the franchise in exciting directions. While some fans may be sad to see Cavill go, we don't know if he's gone, by the way. That's just them. It's clear the DCEU is ready to move on from Snyder's vision and begin looking at ways in which they can reboot certain aspects of the franchise, beginning with The Last Son of Krypton. Right, so Ta-Nehisi Coates is a social justice writer, so we have to be aware of that. He would be making commentary about black people and black voices and black lives, and that's interesting, as long as it's not too preachy. And J.J. Abrams is an amazing TV creative. Alias is one of the best things I've ever seen. Lost, which he co-created and he was very much involved in. Awesome. I think his Mission Impossible movie was great. I think his production company is still involved with that franchise today. Star Wars didn't end well, but that really wasn't him. It was the studio. He had the same problems with Disney that Zack had with WB, unfortunately. So he's a big Superman fan. We know he wrote a Superman script quite a few years ago that I read out on this channel over a year ago now, and that sounded good. So we will see. Is this a movie that's written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams, and J.J. will direct it? That would be okay. Or could Michael B. Jordan, who's also directing the next Creed movie, could he be directing the Superman movie and starring in it as well? I think that could be a thing. And I also feel that maybe that Henry isn't done in this role. I think if the two parties could come together, we could see an epic movie with the Kal-El Superman and the Val Zod, or whatever the other version of Superman's called, unite together. How powerful of a statement would that be? A white Superman standing beside a black Superman, fighting against villain, an invasion or whatever, together. It would be amazing, right? Because growing up, it's true. Whatever I think about what they're doing in casting and what they're doing today, it's true. When I was growing up, most black actors were playing villains, and it's bad. It's bad, and it was bad messaging. Whatever we think about what's going on in Hollywood, and they have taken these things to another level, I agree, but I think that would be huge if you had Cavill and Michael B. Jordan as a white Superman and a black Superman teaming up. That would be amazing, and I think a lot of people would be very, very excited about that. So on today's Big Mouth Daily, we continue. Remember, it's my first live, so be kind. So we've got Sam Junn reviews. I just want Man of Steel 2. Well, I want Man of Steel 2. David Goyer wrote a Man of Steel 2. He was sacked, and then Ben Affleck brought in Chris Terrio, someone that even the director hadn't worked with before. We would have got Man of Steel 2 if the first Man of Steel made more money. Unfortunately, the whole thing was a mess from its inception. So anyway, what are we doing next? I think we are going to talk about superfan Scott Edwards, who has got some things. Look, let's see what he's got for us. He's got an Ashoka article. He's got a Black Adam article as well, and I'll read them both. So let's read the Black Adam one first. Oh, we've got 3 people watching. How long are they going to last? Oh, no, one's gone. Only 2 now. One of them's probably me. Anyway, this is from Cinema Blend. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam co-star explains how the DC film differs from other superhero movies by Jamil David. Dwayne Johnson is gearing up to enter the wide world of superheroes with Black Adam, a role years in the making. The Rock recently celebrated the official day of production on Black Adam, a role he can't stop working out for. Now his co-star Quintessa Swindell explains how the upcoming DC film differs from other superhero movies. The unique nature of Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam as a character being more of an anti-hero than a straight-up good or bad guy has always differentiated the character from his peers in the comics. Quintessa Swindell remarked on how Black Adam has a level of creative freedom other superhero properties don't have, telling NME. So what's that? Quintessa Swindell remarked on how Black Adam has a level of creative freedom. That's interesting. Historically, studios films like this one, the characters are represented in the comic and it stays in that realm respectfully. For this character, we're doing that same thing. But because the character isn't so explored in the comics, there is a lot of creative freedom building off of those foundations, which has been really exciting. It's really beautiful to see them keeping up that vision and fighting for what they believe the characters should be. So basically, this probably isn't a copy and pasted comic book Black Adam. But she says normally they do that in films. They don't. When was the last time you saw a CBM copy and paste a graphic novel? It's very, very rare. The team behind Black Adam uses the creative freedom Quintessa Swindell describes as a way to explore Dwayne Johnson's titular Black Adam in a new and exciting ways. One of the ways in which the film will expand the DC Extended Universe is that it will introduce the Justice Society, which I think is a good way of changing things, giving the team its big screen debut in the process, building off the foundations of the character to elevate Black Adam to new levels seems to be a goal for the filmmaker and Johnson himself. Doing something different in the superhero genre is difficult, but if they can pull it off, it can make the titular character stand out in a saturated market. In addition to Quintessa Swindell, Black Adam's cast is stacked and has added Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate and Aldis Hodge, who, like Dwayne Johnson, can't stop working out for his role as Hawkman. The anticipation and hype for Black Adam will continue to grow, and now that production is finally underway, expect it to ramp up immensely throughout the year. Meanwhile, Dwayne Johnson has a superhero competition with Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa, whose amazing birthday gift to Johnson's daughter is the one superhero in his household yet. So Johnson has plenty of motivation to knock Black Adam out of the park and get one over on Aquaman. Based on what we've heard about the film thus far, all signs point to a unique take on the DC comic book character that will cement Black Adam's place in the superhero movie pantheon. We'll see how things pan out when the film hits theaters on July 29th, 2022. So very, very, very interesting. What's that? I know who can direct Man of Steel 2, Quentin Tarantino. Well, Sam John reviews, I think that would be amazing. I mean, I'm a big fan of Tarantino's. I actually met him once. He's just such a unique guy. He really is. And he's actually got a lot to say about Superman in his movies as well. So I would love him to do a Superman movie. And we need more people like Tarantino in the business. Anyway, getting back to this, very interesting. Thank you, Scott Edwards, for that article. Scott's always suggesting articles and asking me questions, and you can do the same. Now we're going to be doing more of these lives. And, you know, I'm not monetized, so I can't make money out of this. This is just me doing it. Actually, it'll be better for me to do this so I don't have to wait for these videos to upload, and it kills my internet and stuff. So if we could do this every day, but I've got to find a better time than this. Clearly, this isn't a great time. Everyone's asleep in America. In the UK, people are still waking up. So I have to find a good time to do it. I think probably mid-afternoon here is about first thing in the morning in the States, and I think that will be a good time to do it. But as I say, I'm going to be doing quite a few videos a day if I can, because I think this is a really exciting way to come to you guys. I think it's awesome. Anyway, I've got more from Scott Edwards, so let's have a look. Where are we? Where's that Star Wars? That's it. This is it. So this is from comicbook.com, and this is about the Ahsoka series, or the Ahsoka series. Star Wars Ahsoka series plot cast details reportedly revealed. Ahsoka Tano is the lead character of one of Disney Plus's 10 upcoming Star Wars series, with Rosario Dawson reprising the role after playing the character in The Mandalorian's second season. Ahsoka appeared in one Mandalorian episode, Chapter 13, The Jedi. The episode hinted that the Ahsoka series would pick up on some plot Frez left dangling by Star Wars Rebels series finale, which implied that Ahsoka would search for lost Jedi Ezra Bridger, which is really exciting, isn't it? The last time Ahsoka saw Ezra was when he disappeared along with Imperial Grand Admiral Thrawn. A report revealing the cast grid for the show seems to confirm this is the case and offers details about other characters Ahsoka meets on her quest. Wow! So let's go back. Would search for lost Jedi Ezra Bridger. The last time Ahsoka saw Ezra was when he disappeared along with Imperial Grand Admiral Thrawn. A report revealing the cast grid for the show seems to confirm that this is the case, offers details about other characters Ahsoka meets on her quest. This is amazing. It really is. I'm really looking forward to this. The report comes from Daniel RPK. According to the rumor, this long line for Ahsoka series, Ahsoka Tano is on the hunt for the evil Grand Admiral Thrawn, in the hope it will help her locate the missing Ezra Bridger, the young Jedi that disappeared with Thrawn many years ago. This synopsis fits with the previous reports about the show's story. Chapter 13, The Jedi, pit Ahsoka against local governor backed by Grand Admiral Thrawn, suggesting she was still searching for Ezra, as implied by Star Wars Rebels' last scene. Dave Filoni, a producer on both shows, hinted that Rebels' final moments might not occur until after Mandalorian's second season. The new theory is that after catching Thrawn's trail, Ahsoka will return to Lothal to pick up Sabine Wren before heading wherever it is that Thrawn is hiding. The grid also offers information on two characters. The first is Boka, described as via Disney Insider, very strong-minded and independent, as well as a natural leader, boyish-looking Middle Eastern, African, Pacific Islander, Black African, American mixed ethnicity, or West Indies Caribbean actors between the ages of 20 to 35 years old are being sought after for the role. The other is Morai. The grid describes him as a very volatile and unreliable male character. Of course, he's a male. Anyway, a character who is simultaneously complex and shady. Of course, he's a male. There is no specific race or ethnicity listed for the role, but actors between the ages of 40 to 60 years old are ideal. Well, I'm 48. I might go for that. The Mandalorian and its spin-off take place after about 5 years after the Empire's fall in the original Star Wars trilogy. Interestingly, that's the same time that the Star Wars novel Heir to Empire, which introduced Thrawn in the old expanded universe, occurred. The new Star Wars canon, where are we? The new Star Wars canon, I've actually lost my place, here we go, may have set the Grand Admiral up in a role similar to the one he played in that original seminal trilogy. It positions himself as a new threat, hiding on the fringes of the galaxy and ready to return and challenge the New Republic in an attempt to claim the seat of power left vacant by the Emperor's death. What do you think? Well, I'm going to tell whoever's watching what I think. All right, I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, I think what Feige and Favreau are doing here is amazing. They are running this whole thing on Disney Plus here. This is the thing we need to embrace. We need to watch, because this is the thing that's going to give us, the diehard fans who have been Star Wars fans for many, many years, so much enjoyment. And I say, bring it on. So I've got some more messages here from Sam Juan Reviews. Zack should do Wonder Woman 3. Ben Affleck should do his Batman movie. Well, I don't think that Zack is off the table for Wonder Woman 3. Either they want Patty to do that final film and get rid of her because Wonder Woman 84 was a disaster for the studio, or they'll bring him in. It's interesting what Grace has to say about the Snyderverse being dead, but could there have been a compromise here? I don't know. Look, it's a very complicated industry, and nobody understands Hollywood. Even if you're an actor who directs other stuff or works on the stage, you will never understand this industry. It's a very, very complicated industry. And, you know, Ben Affleck should do his own Batman movie. Listen, nothing will make me more happier. I've seen what he was going to do with that film. It sounded amazing, brutal, dark, and, you know, it all went wrong, didn't it? It all went wrong. And I just think everyone involved with that franchise from its inception did the franchise dirty. And I think this is why we're not getting any more Snyderverse. And I think if you can't sit down as adults and agree to disagree sometimes, but come together to put the project together, I think that's a big issue. Anyway, I might come back to do some live later on. If you've got any questions for me, should I talk for another 5 minutes just in case you've got any more questions for me? But I will be wrapping this up really quickly because people are coming and going. I'll get 2 views, then there's none, then there's 2. Because this is my first time. I'm a live virgin, aren't I? And it's fun. I have enjoyed doing this. It's a lot more laid back than I thought it would be, and easier to do as well. And so hopefully I can save this video so people can come back and watch it later so you can check out my faults. But the headlines today are that the Snyderverse is dead at Warner Brothers Pictures, and that comes from Grace Randolph. We also had a toxic blogger saying something that Wonder Woman 84, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Mortal Kombat were the top 3 best-selling things on HBO Max. And then he goes, sorry, Snyder Bros, blah, blah, blah. And I think it was the account inside HBO Max, this is a verified account coming from the studio, actually liked what this toxic guy said. And that's a shame. So it looks like it is dead. It looks like we've got no chance of restoring the Snyderverse at this time. But we have got 3 amazing movies that we've enjoyed. And they really were amazing movies. What's this? Quentin Tarantino should do Man of Steel 2. Oh, yeah. I think you told me that already, but definitely. It would be amazing. I would love Quentin Tarantino to do a comic book movie. And as I'm a DC stan, I'd rather look, Feig's never. I mean, then again, Feig's done some things I never thought he was going to do with the MCU. I didn't think he'd do WandaVision. I didn't think he... But it's a new day has dawned, right? A new day has dawned. And we've got a new direction for the DCEU. You don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. But I do know that their ideas are at least interesting. And we should wait and see to judge what's in the coffee before we throw it out with yesterday's garbage. Anyway, I will be back later on with more lives. I hope you enjoyed this live. Comment down below. Like, share, and subscribe. If you like me, if you think I come across well, please subscribe, get other people to subscribe. Let's make this something special. You know me. I always answer your questions. I always talk to you. It's fun. It's a calm environment. It's not toxic. So let's create something here. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.